I'm John Pensom from PeopleInsight. Thanks for joining me today. Feel quite inadequate up here actually because everybody was introduced as a PhD yesterday, and I'm just worked very hard for my BA. But part and parcel of what we do at PeopleInsight is really focus on helping HR become data driven. Okay, and we help HR become data driven in a predictable and an accelerated way. What our model is really all about is simply having organizations feed us raw, disparate HR data from whichever systems they might be running. We do that integration, that data management, that data engineering, make those connections that matter, and then our customers use the secure web-based platform from a comprehensive people analytics and reporting perspective. And while we've been doing this since about 2012, we're not the only game in town, but there are a few, like OneModel, like Visier, who are doing exactly this, okay? But we also recognize that it's, not one size fits all, and in order to do that, what you have to do is understand what you do and create a really strong identity. So at PeopleInsight, our identity is really around serving a very specific need. We know exactly who we are and what we do. We know exactly what we don't do, how we can help, and what we do is we do it very, very well. In terms of getting to that conversation on fit is really important for us. And feel free to go to the website and download this quick study on fit, help you understand if the workforce analytics pure play is a fit for an organization based on the capabilities that we do deliver. But before I get to what makes us distinct or what speak about our capabilities or what are the capabilities of a workforce analytics pure play, a couple of beliefs that I have. We built our business based on the fact that we believe data is the game changer for HR. We believe that HR should be doing HR and not spreadsheets. And that can be extended to doing, business-driven, business-focused conversations and consulting and driving value versus doing the technical, more mundane work associated with data warehousing, et cetera. And then the last thing is technology is no longer a valid excuse. So one of the things that we all see in many organizations is very fundamental, commonly available desktop tools to do reporting and analytics, to do data management. And that goes from Excel through to even some of the off-the-shelf BI tools, okay, that might be single licensed, under the table, in a black box system. And really what the reality of today is, today's HR data is not like it was 20 years ago, okay? 20 years ago, when spreadsheets were truly designed, data in HR was really from one or two sources. It was very, very simple, and frankly, it's not 1999 anymore. The common universal problem, though, is that your HR data is everywhere. We're buying more systems, there's more HR technologies out there, and the need for data integration becomes even more apparent. Okay, so all these tools out there which are generating high quality HR data, they all need to come together somehow, some way, so a holistic series of questions can be asked and insight can be driven. And that's just accelerating moving forward. So what we need to see is our HR data as an asset, as an opportunity, and part and parcel of that is how do you actually consolidate it and bring it together into one single source? And it's remarkable that 50 years ago we were putting 350 people in a jumbo jet, flying them across the world, and we cannot deliver to our head of sales a tool or a capability at the click of a button where they can understand the revenue exposure with not filling their sales reps on time. Okay, so this is a visualization, a dashboard per se, which is bringing in requisition data from your ATS. It's bringing sales outcomes data from your CRM, to mash that together so you can see number of days that you exceed your targets and the impact on a sales organization. And frankly, the sales manager in your Division 3 should be able to have exactly the same capability at the click of a button, but it's hard. So what I've done here is I've laid out a number of aspects of why it's hard. Why is it hard to consolidate all this data? And why I believe that data management, HR data management, is the Achilles heel of what we're trying to deal with in all of the conversations that we've had over the last few days. So there are many layers of this. There are many complex layers to this, which include hardware provisioning, data warehouse provisioning, and development. Developing an HR data model that's optimized and works for analytics. Provisioning and building and configuring ETL, extract, transformation, and load tools, data management tools. The actual ongoing data management, data integration from different sources to be able to generate a dashboard, a report. The development of the algorithms, the development of the HR metrics and the visualizations, making sure that you have the right role-based security in place so that you do not deliver the wrong information to the wrong person, whether that be the wrong level of person or compensation data to somebody who should not have access to compensation data. All that gets wrapped with implementation and support and planning. You need people to be able to do that who require a diverse set of skills, from being BI developers to ETL developers to programmers to data scientists, data warehousing and management, all kinds of different diverse skills that you need, all for a high-risk, internal, do-it-yourself initiative, okay? Which frankly can blow budgets and be significant in terms of total cost of ownership. Now, just to call out the opinion that I have, which is the reason why we haven't made progress in HR from an analytics perspective is because that underlying data management is incredibly complex, okay? We talked about data scientists yesterday, okay? Data scientists in HR. I don't think there was much discussion about the domain level expertise of HR data. Financial analysts, data scientists in the operations cannot always make that jump over to HR because HR data is incredibly unique. It's very, very complex. It's highly nested, and it doesn't come over very easily from these transactional systems. Transactional data moves from system to system through APIs. These APIs tend to be built around moving small process-based transaction chunks of data versus what we need for analytics, which is a micro detail, atomic level data, which is required for deep insight and aggregation at whichever level you choose, or drill down to the actual data record. ETL, moving data from system up to a data warehouse, also very complex, requires ongoing care and feeding, requires customization because everybody's Workday data model is different than everybody else's Workday data model to some degree. Unifying all those data sources into one single source, very, very complex, as is the criticality of this role-based security that that I've just touched on. And at the end of the day, I believe that data management for HR is really, really the Achilles heel and the opportunity. So, what can happen when you get down in the weeds on data management is you stop being a formidable business partner. You stop working for the organization. You get your head down, you start processing, you start doing the data-centric stuff, and you build your capability around data warehousing and ETL and BI versus building your capability around using that data to actually drive business value. So what is important from my perspective is it's tremendously important to know when to build your own stuff, cycle through early proofs of concept with homegrown desktop tools, do-it-yourself tools, and when is it the right time to move to a more sophisticated, scalable, product-type environment. All those things that you're doing, many organizations are doing on a month-to-month basis, are one-offs. It doesn't live, it doesn't breathe. That whole data integration has to go next month. Well, that should happen on a daily basis, all within a secure GDPR-compliant environment. So the question that I'm going to answer is, how can we, as PeopleInsight, help with this problem? I'm going to use three things that resonated with me at the conference yesterday. One is Ian O'Keefe's model from JP Morgan Chase, which is how he built his capability at JP Morgan. The bottom two layers of infrastructure, platform, data management, data engineering, mashing together data, BI dashboards, metrics, algorithms, reports, that's the stuff that we can help with. We're very clear on what we do, very clear on what we don't do. It's for the organization to then take that capability and consult and drive change and outcomes, okay? I also fundamentally believe that the capability around operating and strategic reporting and analytics is different than a infrastructure and a data model around predictive or advanced analytics, okay? And that speaks to the second piece that resonated with me yesterday. Al spoke about work People Analytics 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. 1.0 being more of the fundamental research and academic type work. Number 2, which is really bringing data together, aggregation, visualization, purely in HR and people and talent. And then the third thing is really the People Analytics 3.0, which is the more advanced machine learning AI capabilities. We live in number 2. Stacia spoke yesterday afternoon about the marketplace and how the marketplace needed to be challenged to do a whole bunch of things. One is pulling together different disparate sources of data. We do that. We can help. 2 is delivering your data in a highly secure capability with the right roles and the right people seeing the right information at the right time in an ongoing fashion. That's what we do as well. And also this whole thing can get wrapped up into when you've got the technology and the data and the end-to-end dimensions of data that come together for HR, it really helps to drive rich storytelling. And that can come from a combination of quantitative HR data, qualitative experience data, and ultimately business outcomes data. So this is what we do. We take data from all those different sources. We deliver the connections that matter across the data management side. That then feeds a out-of-the-box workforce analytics solution which extends from all domains of HR, from talent management, talent acquisition, core HR, compensation, learning, health and safety, etc. And because we also believe that not one size fits all, we have the ability and we have the capability within our organization and business model to continually develop out and personalize and configure that front end and the back end. These are our additions, and I'm just going to leave you with one final piece of wisdom, quote unquote, which is really, doesn't matter what you're doing, what you do, if you're not, with respect to data-driven HR, if you're not actually going to take that data and drive conversation, drive a decision, and drive change, it's all for naught. Ian spoke about that before, and this is the quote. The road of life is paved with squirrels who couldn't make a decision. So on that note, thanks so much, and great conference. Thank you.